Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Wrestling with Things. We wrestle with all sorts of things in sports and entertainment. And now, here are your hosts, David and Sammy Joseph.
Then just the fact that it's Chris Jericho, that's what made them acceptable and wanting to even do it. And plus, this is the opening threat. This is a perfect shot in the door to show we're not threatened by you guys in any type of way. Like it was the perfect. What's that arrow thing that the Native Americans do with the fire on it to signal that something's about to happen or something's coming? It's one of those things. You ever see those things in the movie where they throw it in the air just to signal that something's coming their way?
Oh yeah.
Like that's exactly what it was. It's like, yo, we're not threatened by you guys in any type of way. We just want to solidify that right here, right now. And the fact that it's Chris Jericho, let's do it, because at the end of the day, he's our guy. Regardless of what he wants to say, regardless of what he's gonna do, he's our guy.
I'm gonna bring my bike out for this.
You know, I think those are some fair points. I thought the timing of it was really random, but in a good way. Like, nobody could have sat there and guessed that they were going to, for the first time, acknowledge the competition. In a way, they're kind of acknowledging another competitor on another brand, but I think it does kind of make it an indicator that Vince McMahon's not taking them very seriously at the moment. I also think it's an indicator that no matter what, Jericho is going to have that one last storyline and get inducted into the Hall of Fame within the next year or two. No matter what, he's going to finish his last storyline, most likely back in WWE. I think that confirms that. But I'm looking forward to the interview. Stone Cold doesn't pull no punches. He's not going to let Chris Jericho hide behind his answers. I think it's good for business. I think that's why they're doing it. People are going to hang on every word. They're going to want to know why Jericho left AEW. They're going to know what he thinks about a lot of topics, you know, and it's going to be good. I expect it to be a really good interview. Now, let me play devil's advocate for a second. Now, I'm not saying he's Chris Jericho, because he's not. He's not the legend that Chris Jericho is. But could you see a guy like, because of his lineage, the fact that he's an executive, could you see a guy like Cody Rhodes being on the Broken Skull session?
No.
Why?
Because of what you said, he's not Chris Jericho.
He's not. But he's not a scrub.
But he didn't have a big time success here.
Okay. That's a fair point. But I just think interview-wise, despite him not having a big success there, because he's Dusty's son, because he's an executive with, you know, a brand new company, you could get some good content out of it, potentially. But I agree with what you're saying. I understand it fully, too.
Yeah, and like if he had a good legacy here, like his brother, I could see his brother even getting on before he gets on.
Come on, Sammy.
No, seriously.
We don't want to hear Broken Skull session from Goldust.
Why not?
I respect Goldust, but I don't think most modern fans in 2021 want to hear that interview.
I think I would want to hear that before.
And I love Goldust.
I would want to hear it before Cody.
No.
Yeah, for sure. Because what do I want to hear Cody talk about? What he did over in Japan? What he did over in?
No. What was it like? What was you and Goldust's relationship really like growing up? What was it like growing up in wrestling? How was it? What was the process of starting AEW like? Shit like that. What do you think AEW? What do you think's wrong with AEW? Put him on the spot like that, like.
But he's not gonna. We know he's not gonna be honest about that. He has stock in it. He has stock invested in it.
Nah, he'll be honest.
He's not gonna be honest about that. I'd rather hear his brother talk about all the years he did here and all the stuff he did here, and then talk about why you're over there.
I wouldn't hate a Goldust interview. Don't get me wrong. I think he has some interesting stories to let us know. And he's a veteran. That's a real life veteran right there. He's been around for a long time.
And back,
I think Cody Rhodes would be. Is it fair to say Cody Rhodes would be the second most intriguing name potentially if they were to get another opportunity? I'm just throwing it out there. I think he might be the second most intriguing name you could get on a platform like that.
Oh, you mean from the other roster? From AEW?
Yeah, from AEW.
From AEW.
Everybody else, I don't really want to hear them on a podcast, or I'm not intrigued as much. With all due respect,
I don't know. I would think Jericho's the only one to do. I really think so. I think he's the only one to do. I'm not really intrigued in what Cody has to say like that, because I know you're just gonna talk. You're gonna put fake stock into what you're doing right now, and I know you're gonna have to act like it's bigger than what it is.
Let's get into WrestleMania real quick. I don't want to do the tedious, list format of going through every single match bit by bit, but I do want to cover the bigger, more monumental main events. I want to start with Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. And I know you and I have talked on previous episodes and even off the record that we're afraid this card doesn't have that sizzle. It doesn't have enough marquee. While I think that is true, I still agree with that. Considering the pandemic, considering how the lack of part-timers they have access to, I think the card's pretty good making the most out of this situation. Now, it's not the best it could be because a lot of key guys are missing, but you got to understand a lot of those key guys have no choice but to be missing. The Brock's, I give up on thinking he's going to come yet, but the Brocks, the Cenas, the Takers, Taker retired finally. Those guys have not been on because I don't think they wanted to perform. They didn't think it was worth it to perform in the pandemic. So with that being said, I think the card's pretty solid still. How do you see Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley playing out? And do you think there's still room for some type of swerve? Because they're fighting night one at WrestleMania, Saturday.
No, I don't see a swerve happening. I think for chances of a swerve it's very, very slim, because I know Brock likes to be promoted when he's gonna fight. He likes to have that build. He likes to put some work into it and make it juicy. So I don't see no swerve. I see Drew taking it, because that's just it's just the way it looks. It's the way it looks. Like the whole build up is the build up's been terrible, by the way, too. I haven't even liked it one bit. Like this whole.
I think breaking up the Hurt business is terrible.
That was another.
I don't think the build-up has been terrible, but the Hurt business breaking up is terrible.
That's part of it.
You're right.
They should have kept. If you're gonna keep it 1-versus-1, at least let him have those obstacles in the way. Use Shelton, use Cedric, use MVP to put him in the way of it. Like, I don't want. Why does he have to go backstage and say somebody take him out? And it's a bunch of bumps.
Let me play devil's advocate. Let me play devil's advocate for a second and ask you. A lot of the rumor on the streets, a lot of people are speculating that the reason why Vince broke up the Hurt business is because he was afraid that Lashley was going to get cleared over McIntyre because the Hurt business is becoming cool. Do you think that might be a that Drew McIntyre wasn't going to get the house over Bobby?
No, I don't think that at all.
You don't think so?
I don't think that at all. I think having the Hurt Business would have helped the Heat. I think it would have helped it.
Yeah, me too.
Because you got a big strong dude who's like 270 right there, and he has lackeys. Doesn't that help a bad guy be a bad guy?
Pro Wrestling 101.
I don't understand that. So what did he really think going back there and trying to pay a bunch of bums to do it? He thought that was a better solution?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. If there's one thing I won't forgive them, I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt on this one, man. That was the hottest thing on Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was starving for something fresh, and they got it. They got a faction. Factions always selling wrestling, whether it's Evolution, whether it's NWO, whether it's even lesser degrees of success like JBL's The Cabinet. They just always work because the bad guy is throwing people to do his dirty work while he hides out. And it's kind of like a final boss that you got to go through his minions in order to go back to the big bad Bobby Lashley. It's perfect.
And then another stupid move, they made King Corbin come from SmackDown to do it.
And lose anyway, and he lost that match anyway.
And nobody wants to see King Corbin. Let's keep it real.
And I respect Corbin, but he should not be in a spot